back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by today. What I have for you is part 2 of part 6 of my massive palette collection, just eyeshadow palette collection. There will be a small declutter, but it's not a massive declutter. A little disclaimer, I know that this is way more eyeshadow than any one person could ever use, but please keep in mind that I do this for like my job here on YouTube. So I buy these palettes to review for you guys, and I keep a lot of them on hand so that I'll have them for comparison sakes. Plus, I just love my eyeshadow. This is no way intended to be me bragging about what I have. It's just to show you what's in my collection, just so that you guys know. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Next up, I have a Milani palette. This was a Halloween release. I never got a chance to use it, so it's brand new, and I don't think they have it anymore, so I'm going to declutter this one and sell this one because it hasn't been touched. This one right here, I don't think they make these anymore, which is really a shame because this was a fabulous formula. I haven't been as much of a fan of their other formulas. This one, however, is a beautiful cool tone palette, so I am going to hang on to this one because I do use this one quite often in the fall and winter. So I'll have to kind of, this fall and winter, kind of compare it to my other cool tone palettes that I now have in my collection, and then we'll see, you know, if it stays any longer. But for now, she's staying. However, I am going to go ahead and get rid of the Milani Most Wanted Mattes. This one, again, from what I heard, was a good formula. I never actually used this one, so it's brand new. And I don't know if you can get it anymore on Milani's website, so I'm going to declutter that one. Let's see, I've got some Kylie Jenner palettes here. She completely rebranded. I have no idea what she's going to be coming out with as far as eyeshadows go. So, we're just going to go through the palettes and I'm going to make a decision. So this is the purple palette. It's okay. It wasn't my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Let's see. This is the Blue Honey palette. Again, just, it's nice. It's a nice color story, but I never use it, so I'm going to let it go. Let's see. This is the Sorta Sweet, and again, never reach for it, so I'll let it go. And last but not least, this is the Burgundy palette, and again, never reach for it, so I'm going to let it go. I have a couple other of her palettes though. However, this one right here I am going to hold on to. This is the Stormy palette. And I did like the quality, and I love the tones, the purple shades and whatnot in here. So for now I'm going to hang on to this one. Okay, next up I have Cocoa by Kylie Cosmetics. I think she did that with one of her sisters. It's just kind of a simple neutral palette with some a few pretty pink shades in there, but I'm going to let it go because you can no longer get this palette. So I think I used it once, maybe. So let that go. Okay, I think that was all for Kylie. If I come across any more, of course, we'll go over them. Next up I have the Urban Decay, I don't even know what this is called. It was part of the Stoned Vibes collection, but this was just the smaller palette. I've never used this, but I do want to. It's really cool, those marbled shades, so I do want to give this a try. So I am going to hold on to this one. Okay, this is my Lorac Pro Matte palette. I've had this in my collection forever. It's just a really good go-to matte palette if you're needing anything, but I have so many others and Lorac has reformulated, so I am going to let this one go, I think. Which is kind of hard to do. This is a little sentimental. So, but I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Alright, this is by Huda Beauty. It's called Wondrous Rush. And these shades in here, these metallics, are gorgeous. However, I never reach for it. Ever. I guess it just kind of bores me a little bit. There's only that one pop of color and the rest of them are neutrals. And I've got so many good neutrals that I reach for over this one, so I'm going to let this one go. Okay, next up, this was another Milani release for Halloween. I did do a video on this one, but I don't think it's available anymore. It was a pretty cool palette, but I have these shades and other palettes that are better quality, so I am going to go ahead and let this one go. Speaking of Milani, I have this Milani Gilded Getaway palette. I have not used this yet, and this is going nowhere. This reminds me of my favorite comedian, Gabriel Iglesias, because he collects VW buses. He's got like this whole massive garage full of them, of all the different types. And so it reminds me of him. That's part of it. Plus, it's a really pretty color story, so I want to give it a try. I'm actually planning on doing a full face of Milani, including all the Fruit Fresh products, and like literally going through everything and giving you my opinion on everything. And that, I think it's called the Fresh Fruit or Fruit Fresh, I can't remember, but literally giving you a full review on every single thing in that product line, because there was like the blueberry, the peach, the cherry. Am I missing one? Blueberry, peach, cherry. Is that it? I think so. Blueberry, peach, and cherry. Yeah, I think that was it. Blueberry, peach, and cherry. So I'm going to go through... Oh, and avocado. I knew I was missing one. So I've been testing all of it. I'm going to go through, because I got the whole PR. I bought the whole PR box. So I'm going to do the video, full face of Milani, and also review all of that stuff. So I'm definitely keeping this, and that's going back over with my Milani stuff. Okay, I've got this Tarte Fall Feels palette, which is a really cute palette. This one shade broke here. It was just a gold, no big deal. The blush is really nice. The shades are really nice, but I just never reached for it. So I'm going to let this one go. Let's see, I've got this I Love Sarahi and Dose of Colors. This one has seen better days. However, this shade right here will not let me let it go. I mean, I told y'all I wasn't going to swatch, but that shade right there, I keep that palette just for that shade right there. So it's not going anywhere. And I should have a towel handy just in case I feel like swatching anything else. So yeah, that is going nowhere. It is such a pretty shade. And the black is really pretty too if I want to do a smoky eye. And then the neutrals are super easy. It's just, I've taken this traveling and I've taken this with me so many places. That's why it looks so beat up. It's a really good palette. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and jump into my Marc Jacobs palettes. As far as I understand, they're rebranding. So I'm letting my stuff go, which is hard for me to believe. But I never reached for it. So, and they're rebranding. So this is the Editorial. I had a couple broken shades, but I've fixed them. So I'm selling this one. Letting it go. Selling everything I'm letting go. This one is Scandalust. Looks like that. Very pretty neutral, warm neutral palette. Never reach for it. Great quality, just never reach for it. And then last but not least, this one was like limited edition. This is the Fantasine. I think this came out when the bronzer came out that everybody, the Omega bronzer that everybody lost their mind over, which I have that bronzer, by the way. But I never reached for this palette, ever. It's a very pretty color story. But again, he's rebranding from what I understand, so I'm going to let it go. So, there you go. Those were a little hard to let go of, but not as hard as I expected. Here's another ColourPop palette. I told y'all I did a video with the High Tide palette. I really enjoyed this palette a lot. But it's mostly more teals than blues, so that's why I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping this in my collection. I really, really enjoyed it. And it surprised me how much I enjoyed it, so yeah. Alright, so decisions. Okay, I've got this Essence Spice Your Life. I'm pretty sure you can't get this anymore. And honestly, I don't think I ever even swatched this, so I'm going to let this go. This is a Milani palette. A couple of shades came broken, so it looks a little messy. It's the Milani Most Wanted Outlaw Olive. It's really a pretty palette, but I never reached for it, and I have a lot of other grungy greens. So, and it just looks a hot mess. I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence because I think they still make these. I'm not sure. I think I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go. I don't reach for it, so I'm going to let it go. This is the Winky Luxe Kitten palette. I held on to it mostly for one shade, which is this duochrome shade right here. Is really cool. Yeah, you can kind of see the flip, so it's like blue and then kind of pink. That's pretty much the main reason, and I never reached for this palette, so I'm going to let it go. This palette right here, this company is no longer in business, Bad Habit, sadly, because they did have really good dupes. But this is the Aftershock palette. It was a dupe for a Huda Obsessions palette, her Bright palette, which I don't think she even has anymore. So I'm going to let this go. I've got so many Bright palettes that I don't need this one. Especially since this brand no longer exists. Same thing, I don't think Face Candy exists anymore. If they do, I'm not sure. But this was a dupe for the Kylie Purple palette, and I just got rid of the Kylie Purple palette, so I'm getting rid of this one too. The Kylie Purple palette was better quality than this one was, so, but this one was good quality. I did like it, but again, I don't think this brand is around anymore, because I think they were part of the whole Shop Hush and Bad Habit and this and that, so I don't know. Alright, so now I have some hard decisions to make, because I do not support Jeffree Star anymore. However, I love his shadows. But I think I'm going to go ahead and make the hard decision to go ahead and let his shadows go. Because I never reach for them. I never film with them. So what's the point? They're just sitting there. So this is the Mini Breaker. And I really, 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 truly... This one's hard to let go. This one I might keep because it's got the purples and pinks and it's small. And I might reach for it. I don't know, my Jeffree Stars I might have to set to the side as maybes. I keep hoping he'll redeem himself, but I also think of all the employees, and that's why I was still buying from him, and the shadow quality is just so good. So this is going to go in the maybe pile. I just don't know. It's going in the maybe pile. Okay. Same thing with the Mini Controversy palette. I've never even used this one. So, I don't know, this one I might not have as hard of a time letting go of. Let me take a look at it. I can't even remember what it looks like. This is the one with the green shade in it. Yeah, I kind of like this one. So it's going to go in the maybe pile too. I like the blues and I like the fact that it has the green in there. And that purple. It's kind of a weird color story. Like, I think the whole controversy and the whole Shane Dawson collab, I think that the color stories weren't all that cohesive, but there's some really cool shades that I don't have in any other palettes. So I'm really on the fence about these. So again, they probably wouldn't film with them, but I might use them if I get rid of enough palettes. I can use them in my off time when I'm not filming, and still enjoy them. You know, I just have so many palettes right now that I can't reach for them. Okay, so moving on. Let's see here. I have a whole bunch of Huda palettes. And I also have a dupe brand, which is called C-Color Cosmetics. So I have, we'll start with the C-Color Cosmetics. I'm going to keep these because I like having dupes to recommend, or yeah, basically dupes to recommend. So this right here, take the plastic off, is a dupe for the Huda Smoky Obsessions palette. And I like having both to compare them side by side, and this is one of my all-time favorite palettes, and this compares just as well to it. And this is like $6, I think, compared to $27. So yeah, I'm definitely hanging on to this one because I love it, obviously, and I'm hanging on to this one for dupe purposes, and because it's a really good quality palette. And I do find myself reaching for it over the Huda one sometimes, so go figure. So there's one dupe. Let's see, do I have, yes, I have the Obsessed 3, which is a dupe for the Huda Mauve Obsessions, right here. Mine looks a little worse for the wear because a couple of my shades broke, but I mean, you can see they're not lined up exactly, but they are, it is a dupe for this, and it's a very good quality dupe. So yes, I will be hanging on to both of these. I do love my Mauve Obsessions. Next up, I have the Huda Coral Obsessions. I never reached for this one, so this one I'm letting go. And then I have another one from C-Color Cosmetics, and this is a dupe for the Warm Brown Obsessions. And because I have this one, I never bought the Warm Brown Obsessions palette. So I'm just going to hang on to this one because I don't, you know, because I like this one a lot and I don't have a need to purchase the Huda one. So there you go. Okay, and then I have the Huda Amethyst Obsessions. This one, of course, is purple and has some really cool shades, so I am definitely hanging on to this one. This one's going nowhere. Sorry, trying not to blind y'all with the mirror. But this one is a great palette if you're looking for a good purple palette. I do recommend this one. And also the ColourPop ones are really good. So yes, hanging on to all of those. Then I have the Huda Emerald Obsessions. Again, I really like this one a lot. There's some really cool greens in this one, some really good grungy greens. So like this palette right here was one of the reasons why I was okay with letting go of that Milani green palette, the Outlaw Olive, because there's some really cool grungy greens in here, and I love the size of these right here. So yeah. Then I have the Huda Ruby Obsessions. This one I made a really, really beautiful look with, but honestly I never reach for it because again, I don't reach for reds. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. It is a beautiful palette and I really liked the look, but I just never reached for it. This one right here I have yet to touch. And I'm not, oh sorry, I should show you. This is the Huda Sapphire Obsessions. I have yet to touch this one, and it has some teals in there and it has some really neat blues. But I feel like I have enough blues, and this one hasn't even been touched. It's brand new. So I think I'm just going to let this one go and go ahead and sell it. Why not, you know, because I think I have these colors in other palettes, so I'm going to let this one go. Alright, I have the Huda Neon Obsessions, and I'm not the biggest fan of them. This one's okay, but nothing I reach for, so I'm going to let this one go. Then we have the pink one. Now this one I do like because it's got the pinks and the purples, so I am hanging on to this one for sure. And then I have the orange one, and it's got some really cool pinks and neon colors in it. Sorry, I'm like on the fence about this one. I'm going to set this aside in the maybe pile because I have some other neons and I want to kind of compare it to see if I have some of those shades already. So yeah. Then I have the Huda Medium Palette. Yeah, I dropped it and broke it, and so it's been fixed, but I do like this palette a lot. It's really pretty, especially in the fall, so I am going to hang on to this one. Okay, I have this LA Girl palette, which I've never tried, but I've heard, oh yeah, see, it's still sealed. I've heard the quality is incredible, and I love the color story. It reminds me of the Huda Smoky Obsessions palette, so I am going to hang on to this and do a look with this. And compare it to my other cool tone palettes, because I like having drugstore options to suggest to you guys. So I definitely want to hang on to some drugstore stuff. So that is staying for sure. Then I have my Viseart, what is this called? Neutral Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It's just, that's what it is. It's just neutral mattes, but these are incredible mattes, so this is going nowhere. This is definitely staying in my collection. Along with that, I also have the Viseart. This one's neutral mattes, but it's also called something else, like Malou or something like that. I think it was a collaboration. And so it's definitely different than this one. And it's all matte, and I like the mattes in both of them, so I am going to be keeping both of them. I mean, these are $80 palettes, they're not going anywhere, but I did not pay that for them. I paid $9 for each one of these, or 12. It was 9 or 12 through the BoxyCharm add-ons. So if you're not a member of BoxyCharm, I'm telling you, links down below in the description box. I don't think it's an affiliate link or anything like that. But being a member, just getting the base box alone makes it worth it to shop the pop-up and add-on sales. Like, even if you don't like what comes in your box and you sell everything in your box, you're going to find some major steals on the pop-up and add-on sales. So I stay a member just for that alone, even if I'm disappointed in my boxes. So that's just a little tip. And every time I unbox BoxyCharm, I always talk that up. So anywho, okay, I have this Nabla Ruby Lights glitter palette, and I like that the glitter is all in one palette. So I'm going to Let me open it so you can see the colors. They're really pretty. This would be great during the holidays. So I'm going to hold on to this and see if I use it during the holidays. If I don't, then I'll let it go. I'm really thinking about around the holidays maybe doing like a 30 days of glitter or something like that, or 15 days. I don't know if I can keep up with 30 days of glitter, maybe 15 days, just to show people how to wear glitter and different ways and whatnot. So that's an idea brewing in the back of my mind if I have time to do that, depending on my work schedule, because the holidays are our busy time because I work in healthcare and everything that I work on goes live on January 1st, so I'm always really busy in November and December. So we'll see. We'll see what I can pull off. Okay, I have this Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat. It's just a warm neutral palette. It's all mattes. I never reach for this palette, so I'm going to let this go. It is a really good palette and it's really good quality, but you can see it's mostly oranges, reddish oranges, and like I said, I don't wear those a lot. So even though they make my eyes pop, I'm just not a big fan. So I'm going to let that go. Then I have the Tartelette Tease. This is a really pretty cool tone palette, but I have so many small palettes now in my collection that I like better than this, so I'm going to let this go. This is the Artist Couture Caliente palette. It's a very bright, very vivid. The look that I did came out beautifully, but I have these colors multiple times over in other palettes, so I'm going to let this one go. Okay, this is a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Well, I say that now, but I don't know. Coming up, it might be a little bit harder. Okay, next I've got the Ciate London, the Velvet palette. It's a nice palette. It was okay. The quality was really good. I just have these tones in other palettes, so I never reach for it. So I'm going to let this one, pardon me. Let's try that again. So this is the Ciate London, the Velvet palette, and it's a very nice palette. I really like the look that I got out of it. Great quality shadows, but I have these shades in other palettes and I never reach for this, so I am going to go ahead and let this one go. Okay, then I have the Dominique Cosmetics. I think it was called Sweater Weather. I think it was part of like a collection that came with like lippies or something too. I've never used this. It's brand new, so I am going to go ahead and let this go. It's an all matte palette. It's really cute, but I haven't touched it and don't see myself reaching for it because I have those shades in other palettes, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go, even though I really do like her formula. Her formula is incredible. Okay, decision time. Dose of Colors Baked Browns. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I have yet to use it. So it's a beautiful palette. It's all matte, but I think I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Yeah, I'm going to let it go. Alright, next up, I'm really on the fence about these. These are the Too Faced. This is the Sparkling Pineapple palette. And it smells good, and it's so pretty. So pretty. It's got the pretty greens and really pretty neutrals, and it's a nice small palette. So I am really on the fence about this one. I think they're still available. I think. So I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. Same thing with the Razzle Dazzle palette. This one even more so I have a hard time with because it's got the purples and they're just gorgeous. And it smells good. And I mean, like, look at this shade right here. So pretty. Oh, and like this shade right here. Just gorgeous. So pretty. So, these are maybes. These are probably yeses. So I'm going to put this in my maybe pile for now. My maybe pile is growing quite large. Alright, so moving on. Let me clean my fingers. Moving on, I have these Ofra Signature palettes. So this one is the Signature Galaxy palette. Purple, so yes, definitely keeping this one. Most definitely. Let's see, the next one is this is the Signature Palette Empowered. Okay, I don't remember what this one looks like. Oh, this is the green one. Yes, I'm definitely keeping this one too. I really like this one a lot. This is a really good palette. Love my grungy greens. So, okay, this one is the Signature Palette Luxe. This one is just a nice neutral palette. I've never used it. It's brand new. So I think I'm actually going to let this one go, just because I have so many neutral palettes. In the middle of this one is Rodeo Drive Highlighter. So this doubles as a highlighter as well, but I have Rodeo Drive in other palettes, so I'm not worried about that. And then the last one here is the Signature Palette Symphony. And this one's like more mauves, so I really like this one a lot. And I haven't played with this one yet, so I am going to hold on to this one and give this one a try. So I'll keep 3 out of the 4 of the Signature palettes. I really love the size of these and the quality of these. And each one of these, the middle shade is an actual highlighter. So like this one right here is Blissful. I don't know about the green one. I don't know if they ever came out with one called Wall Street. I don't think they did, but they did come out with one called Neptune, which is that purple. And I've used that as a highlighter before, and it's really, really pretty. So yeah, kind of a double use there. So definitely love those. All right, next I have my Juvia's Place minis. And I can tell you right now I'm not getting rid of any of them. I'm just going to go ahead and show them to you. So these are the taupes. I like to use the taupes with the chocolates to amp up the, you know, to deepen up the look. When you put these two together, you've got like the perfect palette. So yeah, those aren't going anywhere. Then I have the Nubian Royal. Not a fan of the pressed glitter, but otherwise I love everything else about this palette. I mean, it's purple. Hello. So, yes, definitely keeping it. This next one, the Nubian Glow. Now that one, I'm not sure about. This one, I don't know. It's got some really cool kind of yellow and gold tones. So I think I will keep this one. I have not played with this one yet, but I am going to give it a go because it really does have some cool tones in there. The only one that doesn't really float my boat is that one, but I think the rest of them make up for it. So yeah, I think I'm going to hang on to that one. Okay, next up is the Nudes. And this goes really good with the taupes and with the chocolates as well. So I do like this one. This is great for a very soft glam look. So I will be keeping this one. Next is the violets. I absolutely love the violets. So this is going nowhere. There you go. There's the violets. I love all Juvia's Place shadows, so I don't know that I'll be getting rid of any of their palettes. This is the mauves, and is gorgeous. I like this better than the Huda mauves, so yeah, this is really, really a pretty palette. Even though it only has 2 shimmers, it's gorgeous. The berries, really love this one too. I actually did a look where I combined this palette, the berries, with this one, the sweet pinks. Oh, and the look came out so pretty. Here's the sweet pinks. See, so you can put them together and it makes like a really cool looking palette. Color story, I guess you could say. But wearing them alone is very effective too. They're gorgeous. So, yep, none of those are going anywhere. Those are definitely staying in my collection. Okay, let's see. Next up, I have something from a company who they changed their name, they rebranded. She doesn't make these anymore. So I'm going to hold on to them just to try them out. Because they're Pastel Goth palettes. This is a cake palette. Like cake eyeliner, so I want to try that. And I want to try the pastels in this one just to see how good they are. But this is not something I'll try on camera. So these are something I'm just hanging on to that I'll play with off camera because you can't get them anymore, unfortunately. I don't know if she ever like re-releases them under her new branding, then I'll, and I still have them, then I'll let you guys know. But for now, there's not really any point because you can't get them. But I am going to hang on to them because I haven't had a chance to try them and I do want to try them. So yeah. Oh, you know what? This needs to go in my ColourPop marathon because I got this. This is the, oh no, it's not available anymore. That's why it's not in my marathon. Yeah, I don't think this is available anymore. Darn it. This is the collaboration with Raw Beauty Christie and ColourPop at Forest site. If I do determine that it is still available, it'll go on my marathon, but if it's not, then it won't. But I haven't even had a chance to play with this palette yet. So, and I love Raw Beauty Christie, so I'm definitely keeping this palette. It's definitely staying in my collection and I will be playing with it, but not on camera, I guess, if it's not available. So this is one that I'll be looking up to see if it's available. I need like a pile to look up to see if they're still available. Okay, I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is hashtag Give Them Lala Beauty, I guess is the brand, and it's called the Grown Woman palette, and it performed great. It was a nice palette. It's just a warm neutral palette, but I haven't reached for it again. So, and the shimmers aren't like pow like what I like, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Alright, next up I have the Ofra Glitch palette, and I really do like these shimmers in here. Here, let me take this plastic cover off. I think the shimmers are really, really pretty, and I have enough matte palettes that I can reach for the shimmers. And I like that I can pop these in and out and mix and match with my singles, so I am going to hold on to this palette. Although, I'm not sure if this palette is still available or not. I think that they're clearancing it out. If it hasn't already been clearanced out, I would definitely check it out if you're interested in it. That's what I'm going to set aside just to see if it's still available, because if it's not, I can't film with it. Okay, this I think got in a BoxyCharm. This is the Beauty Bakery Breakfast in Bed eyeshadow palette. It was okay. I had some problems with it, and I got some hard pan and stuff like that, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. It wasn't my favorite palette, sadly, and that's the only palette I think I've ever tried of theirs, so, it is what it is. Okay, next up I have an Ofra Mini Mix palette. This is the Secret Garden palette. I really do like this palette a lot, and I love that I can pop out the shadows and customize this palette however I want to. So I am hanging on to this. This is a full-size highlighter right here. This is Blissful I can put any of my other singles from other brands in here. They fit in here as well. So I am definitely hanging on to this. It's almost like I can make a custom palette with this even if I don't like all the colors in here. So hanging on to it. I like their mini mix palettes. And here's another one. This one is called the Good to Go. And this one has, this one was in a BoxyCharm, I think. And this one I really like. I did a look with this one. And it has all the lights highlighter in here. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is Star Island, this is Pillow Talk, this is Rodeo Drive, and this is Blissful. And then these shimmer shades were really, really pretty. The bronzer was a little bit of a letdown, but the blush was gorgeous. And all the other shades performed beautifully. So I am definitely keeping this one as well. Okay, and then this one I am absolutely keeping. This was a collaboration with Samantha March. This is called Life's a Draft. And it's mostly purples and mauves because she loves purples and mauves just like I do. So yeah, I'm absolutely keeping this one. It's a beautiful palette. And I do like the bronzer in here. It works really well. The highlighter is called Dream Chaser. I think she was able to come up with this on her own. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this palette. I really do like this palette. So it is staying. It is not going anywhere. I quite like Ofra a lot. And they make some of my favorite liquid matte lipsticks of all time. So I have a ton of them. So most of my Ofra stuff will definitely be staying for sure because I love them. Okay, let's see. I have the Barbie and ColourPop Malibu Barbie. I think this is still available. I did a look with this one and I really do like this palette. It's a nice palette and I do see myself using this more in the future, so I am going to hang on to this. But I am going to put it into the pile as to whether or not you can still get it. This one, I know, this is from Ofra. I know they were clearancing it out. It's called the Francesca Tolat. It was like a collaboration with Francesca Tolat. I'm not sure who she is, maybe a makeup artist. And it's called the Infinite Palette. So it's got some really cool colors here. And again, you could pop out and make your own customized palette. So this one I'm going to set aside to see if it's still available. If it is, then I'll hold on to it. If it's not, then I'll probably declutter it because there's no point in keeping it if I can't film with it. Let's see, I've got the Venus 3 from Line Crime. And I quite like this palette. I do wish the shimmers were a little bit more papow, but I can always put like a glitter, like liquid glitter or like a Super Shock on top of it. But I really like the tones in this, so I am going to hang on to this. It's a very pretty palette and the quality is good, just their shimmers aren't my favorite. I like really poppin' shimmers, so. But like I said, I've got lots of Super Shock shadows and lots of like liquid glitter shadows, so I can amp it up no problem. Alright, next one. This is Cab Cosmetics Day Plus Night Eyeshadow Palette. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm, and it's really pretty. It actually reminds me of the Huda Dusk Till Dawn palette, I think is what it's called. But as you can see, there's a lot of oranges and whatnot. There's a couple purples, but mostly it's just a warm neutral palette. And I've used it once and haven't touched it since, so I'm going to let this one go. I just recently filmed with this one. This is part of my ColourPop marathons. This is the So Very Lovely palette. I do highly recommend this. Ooh, whoa, it's messy. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. I do highly recommend this palette. It is very pretty, but I think it might be sold out now. So I'm going to put this in the pile because I think it was on their last call and like they had it really cheap. I'm going to put this in the pile to see if you can still get it. If not, then I won't film with it. But I really did like it a lot. This one you're going to be seeing the video coming up very soon. This is the Sonic Bloom palette. I just filmed with it yesterday or the day before, so the video will be coming up shortly, but this is what it looks like. Right now it's an Ulta exclusive. I don't know if it will be going to ColourPop or not, but I was very pleased with this palette and it is definitely staying. And most of the Ulta exclusives have been coming over to ColourPop, so I have a feeling this one will too. So that one is staying. This one, Sandstone, I think that this one was discontinued. I did do a look with this in my ColourPop marathon. It is a great palette, great neutral palette. With a couple little pops of color. You got the yellow and the green and stuff in there, so I am going to hang on to this one, at least for now, and see if it's still available or not. If it is, then I'll be able to, you know, film with it in the future. If it's not, then it'll be probably set aside in the don't film with this palette category. Just the way it goes. Oh, I've got another Ofra Pro palette. Whoops. I got, oh, this is different than the mini mix. Okay. This one is called the Ofra Pro palette and it's with collaboration with Mary and Palettes. If you've never seen her work, she's on Instagram. She's incredible. She does beautiful makeup looks. I think she only speaks Spanish. But I just watch her do her looks. I mean, she's incredible. And so this is her palette that she collaborated with them on, and it is really pretty. So I am most definitely keeping it because it's got gorgeous blushes. It's got several highlighters in there. It's got some really pretty bright eyeshadows in there that I want to try out. I haven't had a chance to try them yet. So this one is not going anywhere. Now I will set this aside because I think that this one was also discontinued. So yeah, I'll have to look and see if it's one that's still available that I can film with or not, just as along with the glitch palette and the mini mix palettes. I'm not sure if those are still available or not because I got them on a really good sale, so they may have been clearancing them out. So these are all staying, but they're going in a pile to where I'm figuring out if I can film with them or not, kind of thing. You know, it's just how it goes. Okay. These right here are absolutely going nowhere. These are my first Sydney Grace palettes that I ever bought. So this is the Tinkerbell collection. This is the Quintessence palette. I did a video with 3 looks, 1 palette, with each one of her palettes. So this is the Quintessence. Oh my gosh. This made me fall in love with Sydney Grace. I will forever be a Sydney Grace fan now. Their shimmers are out of this world. The mattes are really nice, but their shimmers are next level. So yeah, this one is called On the Horizon. And this is what this one looks like. And you can see there's tons of shimmers. So pretty. So absolutely not going anywhere. And I think they are still available. If they're not available, then they'll be restocking these. So I don't think these have been discontinued. So I don't think they'll be discontinued anytime soon. And then the last one is called Radiant Reflection. And this is what it looks like right here. Ooh. Right there. Very, very beautiful. So with each one of these, I did do a video, 3 looks, 1 palette. And like I said, I'll try to link any videos that I did either in the description box or in the cards. You know, it just depends on how many they let me do. There's only so much room, you know. So definitely keeping this for sure. All 3 of these. Let's see. I have all these LA Girl palettes. And I do think they're all still available. The only ones I'm not sure of is the Haute Heat palettes. But they're so good. This one's missing a mirror. But they're so good and cheap. They're only $15 a piece, and actually I wind up usually getting them on sale at Ulta, so I can't let these go. I mean, if I'm going to set this aside and see if it's still available. If it's not, then I might let this one go. Same thing with this Haute Heat, because these were the first ones they came out with. Yeah, see, it's supposed to come with a mirror. My other one fell out. But I mean, just gorgeous. The shimmers are next level. They did an incredible job with these palettes. So I'm going to look and see if these are still available. If they are, then they'll stay in my collection. If they are not, then I'll go ahead and declutter them, because I have a lot of other LA Girl palettes, which I'm about to show you. So I know this one's still available. This is the Pro Mastery Eyeshadow Palette. And it's just a really nice, let me get the plastic off so you guys can see it. It's a really nice, like, mauve tone palette. And, you know, like I said, I like to keep drugstore palettes around, to give you guys options. I like to keep affordable palettes around in general, period, because I'm kind of a bargain shopper, so I know a lot of you are too, so I like to keep stuff around. So I'm keeping this one. And then I've got the Pro Artistry Eyeshadow Palette. This is more blues and greens. So gorgeous. This is what this one looks like. So there you go. So that one's not going anywhere either, assuming they're still available, which I'm about 99% sure that they are. Okay, and these were their newest ones, I think. This is Break Free Eyeshadow Palette. This one's called This Is Me. And this is definitely me in a palette with these pinks and these purples and these mauve tones. So that one's not going anywhere. I wish I had time to swatch everything, guys, because their shimmers are just, oof, they're really, really good. And then this one is Break Free as well, and it's called Be You. So this one's more of a neutral, a warm neutral palette. But I like it because it's got the yellows and all that. It's not too warm for me. It's more on the neutral side, in my opinion. So definitely hanging on to this one as well. So there we go. Okay, I'm actually going to cut the video off right here. This turned out to be quite a long video. The raw footage was over 5 hours, so I broke it up into 6 parts. So whether this is part 1 or part 6, whatever part you're watching, it'll have the same outro, just to let you guys know. I did, I think, mention throughout some of the videos that I will be selling the palettes that I am decluttering on Mercari. I will have that link down below in the description box of all 6 videos. I'll also make sure to have the link to all 6 videos in all 6 of the videos. That sounds like a lot of repetition right there, but yeah, that's what my plan is. So Anyways, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed seeing my palette collection. I love sharing it with you guys, and I know a lot of people like to see these type of videos. So I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you would give me a like. That would help me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. I'm just a little bitty micro channel, so I'm trying to get noticed. And also, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and make sure to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of future content. I have lots and lots of content that I put out. I have a ColourPop marathon going on right now where I'm trying to film with a ColourPop palette at least every other day. Just to get through a bunch of ColourPop palettes that I bought over the past few months that I haven't had a chance to film with. What else? I do giveaways. I do reviews, unboxings, first impressions, tutorials, just a vast array of different content. So I try to definitely keep it, you know, always active and, you know, changing things up a little bit here and there to keep it interesting. So I would love to have you as a subscriber. But with all that being said, thank you again for watching. I hope that you're having a great day or evening wherever you are in this world. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy. And I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Bye!